Turn on the radio! Bring it on! Turn it!
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Kevin Powell. I love talking to bands, and I got a really cool band to talk to. As you'll see me continue on with the interview today, what am I sipping on? Well, of course, I'm sipping on some G Fuel, and I'm sipping on the new Gundam G Fuel. So I have a little video I posted on my TikTok about that, but, you know, gotta love G Fuel. So today we are talking to Tombstone. How you guys doing today, Tombstone?
Hey, good. How are you?
Yeah, great.
Hey, good.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you guys. I discovered you guys last year whenever that demo came out. Really hard-hitting stuff. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. So we have a couple guys here right now. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
All right, I'll go first, I guess. I'm Cody. I play guitar in the band.
I'm Wes. I also play guitar in the band.
So we got two guitar players. Who else is in the band? Who isn't here tonight?
So we have our vocalist, Zach Goodwin. And then our old bass player, so we had a bass player, Scott, and he's actually moving to New York. So we just acquired another new bass player, and his name's Ethan. He plays in another band called Living in Fear. And then we have our drummer, Kevin, as well.
Two Kevins. Good name.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So where's everybody from? We got someone moving to New York, but where are you guys from?
We're kind of from the surrounding areas of Atlanta. Scott was the main Atlanta headquarters right there, and then he moves to New York, so now we're just all spread out.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. So you guys are from Atlanta, kind of around that area. What's the music scene like there?
It kind of comes in waves, honestly. Like back in towards the end of high school, like 2009, 2010, I feel like the hardcore scene was huge, and it was just taking over. And then it kind of I don't want to say died out, but the metal scene started kind of taking over a little bit, and that kind of music. And now the hardcore scene is starting to come back into the wave again. So it's really cool to I don't know, me and Wesley have been doing this so long that we've kind of seen all waves.
Things come and go, and,
you know.
Yeah.
I've seen ever since the COVID thing kind of died down, I've seen a wave of rock and metal and hardcore coming back with local shows and stuff, which is fantastic for people like us. So heck yeah, shows are back. Let's go. So take me to the beginning. How did Tombstone kind of come to be?
So it started really with me and Zach and Kevin kind of talking about it. Me and Zach went to high school together, so we've known each other for a long time. And we've played in bands together in the past, so we're pretty comfortable with each other. And then Kevin, he played in a pop punk band a long time ago, and me and Zach played in a band together before. So we kind of knew him from that, playing shows, seeing him around, mutual friends. So we just started talking, and we got together and started playing. And me and Cody have known each other for a long time, playing in bands and other things like that. Scott, we knew him from going to shows in the past. So everybody kind of already knew each other, so we kind of had the vibe of how each other was and knew how to mesh with each other, and it kind of just fell together.
So whenever you guys did come together, I guess take me to that day or that time frame when you were sitting down and going, all right, I have some riffs, you have some drum parts, let's make a band.
Dude. I don't know. I feel like we've been jamming at least together for so long. Oh, I don't know. I know.
Yeah, at least the way that I got into the band was Wesley and Zach and Kevin already had a single out for a different band of a different name. And so that was already a thing. And then Hounds kind of had just ended pretty much around COVID. So I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I texted Wesley and was just yo, let's start a band. I'll play guitar. And he was like, well, I already got some songs. So if you want to just learn them, you can be in this band. And then we kind of just started adding members to create a live band. And then from there, it's just sort of evolved into what it is now, more of a group effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love getting to know how bands got started. I mean, I love this day and age where the internet is just so helpful. Even if you guys weren't around each other and you just knew each other and you're like, bro, let's just do a band. Someone's out way, way away. You can just send riffs to each other. And I love that stuff.
That's essentially what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
yeah.
nice. So in 2022, you guys released your demo with 2 singles. What was the reception on that? Basically, walk me through everything.
I think the reception was pretty fairly positive for the most part. I mean, I personally didn't see any negative feedback. I'm sure somebody hated it, but I didn't personally see it. But yeah, we kind of just like when we were playing in the other band that I joined, where he already had some songs. We kind of just wanted a rebrand and a fresh start to where like everyone was contributing to the sound, and I feel like those 2 songs really like we kind of like figured out what we wanted to sound like for the most part. You know, like those 2 songs really encapsulate like what we wanted to be.
The other band we played in, I pretty much wrote a majority of everything by myself in my basement, and everybody else kind of just came together. But with Tombstone, I think that's a little bit more well-rounded sound of everybody put together. So I think as far as feedback goes, I think it's better feedback because I feel like they're better songs because they're more well-rounded.
Okay,
Yeah, they're
awesome.
more complete songs, I would say.
How did you guys go about recording those 2 singles?
We pretty much demo everything out at Wesley's house. If not, he just demoing it out himself and like doing the drums and all that himself. And then we ended up going to Patrick Snyder, who did the first Hounds EP, and I pretty much recorded it with every band I've ever been in with Patrick. So he's just kind of like my local, like trustworthy. I know it's going to sound good guy. That's like fairly affordable. So yeah, I mean, we went to Patrick with the demos already. We didn't really have to do much in studio other than just track. So, like that was a good thing that we didn't have to write a bunch of riffs in studio.
No wasted time.
Right. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So that was in 2022. Now we're in 2023. What are some goals that Tombstone has? Is it playing live? Is it recording more music? A little bit of both? Something else?
Kind of all of the above. We got 3 songs in our pocket right now that we plan on tracking like a little EP for. I think we're going to try to do like a 3 song at the beginning of the year, then maybe try to do 3 more at the end of the year, just to kind of make a split extended EP, I guess. And we plan on printing more merch, and we got some shows lined up too. Nothing super crazy. We all got full-time jobs, so it's kind of hard to do the whole touring thing these days. But
yeah. Some one-off shows here and there, but that's okay. I don't know how bands. I think Fear Factory came out with an article, and they said touring is like you're not getting as much money as you think you are. And I don't know if you guys have toured, but it's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And unless you're like really pulling in thousands of people a night, so like there's bands out there. You're wearing a Purgatory shirt. You're wearing a God's Hate shirt. Those guys have a lot of people. Think they're making a lot of money? Probably not. But if we're like looking at bigger bands, like I'm wearing a Hatebreed one, they've been around late 90s. Yeah, they're probably making money, but nothing like
but
astronomical.
Right. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, at least with this genre and other, elements of heavier music, everybody's kind of just doing it for the love of it at this point. We need to make the money that we can to do what we love to do, but I don't think anybody's planning on making it rich out of it.
Yeah, definitely. We're not trying to be famous at all. It's more just like we're just at a point where we want to hang out with our friends and play cool shows pretty much, and play music that we like to listen to. Like we're just writing songs that we would want to listen to, essentially.
And that's a fantastic mindset to have. I know, maybe I don't know, but there are bands out there that think that this is the moneymaker. Hardcore music, not so much. I like to look out at the crowd and see people two-stepping. I don't care if I made $5 or $500. As long as people had fun at the shows, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
So who are some of you guys' influences? It can be personal influences or band influences, literally anything.
Go ahead.
I was about to pass it to you.
I don't know how to make it into a list of influences and not a list of bands I like.
Yeah, because it'd basically be the same thing. I mean, I don't know. Like when I first started getting into playing music and stuff, I was really into bands like Zeppelin and Metallica and stuff like that. And that was when I was like a kid, like elementary school, middle school age, like first starting to play guitar. And then I got introduced to like Lamb of God and like the metalcore side of it. And then I got taken to my first hardcore show. So then I saw Terror and Foundation, Down to Nothing and bands like that. And so I honestly think there's like a little bit of all of that influencing the way that we like write. Cause like we'll write a thrashy riff every now and then we'll sit there and write a super slow, chuggy, stupid riff.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like we like everything. It's hard to really narrow it down to an influence, honestly.
Yeah, we grew up going to shows together, so our influences they're pretty similar. I know with me, my dad. I remember when I was a kid, I found a CD in his little CD sack. You know that they used to have. You have to flip through all the shit, and he had the Green Day Dookie CD. And I remember when I was learning how to play guitar, that was one of the first like records that I listened to. I was like, man, I gotta learn this. So I learned most of that record front to back, and that's always been a big influence of mine. Granted, we don't really sound anything like that, but I go back. I went and listened to that record all the way through like 2 days ago, so it's still something that sits in the back of my mind.
People love learning stuff about bands, me especially. So whenever it comes to, you know, the very beginning, or when it comes to close to the end, any influences at all, I love learning about that stuff. I would never have guessed someone wearing a Purgatory hoodie is a Green Day fan, but they're good. Country, okay.
I love country. Big country
fans.
See, I'm over in West Virginia, and I went to a high school that Mr. Brad Paisley went to.
Oh, so that's one of my favorites right there. That's a guitar player.
I'm born and raised in Paulding County, where the home of Travis Tritt.
Yeah.
So.
Very nice.
Alan
See, over
Jackson's
here,
not far from there either.
over here, it's called the Ohio Valley. We had a thing for 40 years called Jamboree in the Hills, and it was the biggest country festival ever made until Live Nation threw it down the toilet because they were charging too much money. So that's what's going on over here. Now I'm looking in the background of Wesley's stuff, and I see some amps, I see some cabs. What kind of stuff are you guys playing with? What kind of guitars are you using? What kind of amps are you using? I know there's tech nerds out there that want to know this stuff.
Oh yeah, we both use 5153s. They're both almost 10 years old at this point. They've treated us great. Whenever this one dies, I'll buy another one.
Yeah, don't see any need in changing.
Yeah. That's his orange cab right there. Oh, right there. I'm playing through 1960 Marshall. That's Scott stuff that he's actually letting us keep. Hit that in his orange head. He's letting us keep for Ethan to play through. And then Kevin's drums over there. But I'm not a real big pedal guy, so I don't really run a lot pedal-wise. I have like a tuner, and I run a noise suppressor and a TS9. But I don't really know what Cody's got on his board.
I'm running just through a Maxon 808, and then I have the two noise suppressors on there. I have one that runs through the effects loop, and then one that runs straight through the amp, just to like one kills the amp noise and one kills string noise, you know, kind of thing. Just because.
Uh-oh.
So I needed the most help I can get to sound clean. And then for guitars, I play an LTD Phoenix with Fishman Flint pickups. So nothing crazy, but I like it.
Yeah, guitar-wise, I play a Schecter with a bunch of numbers behind it that I can't remember. But I love it. It's like it's an Explorer shape. I love the shape of Explorers, so it was cheaper than buying a real Explorer.
I had this conversation with a bunch of friends. Do you guys name your guitars?
No. I haven't, no. I don't think I ever have, actually.
No,
I never have either.
That.
And then someone asked me, well, what did you name it? I was like, people name it? I mean, if people name their cars, I still haven't.
Yeah, I've never named my car either.
Okay. So as we wrap things up, is there anything you want to mention or say to fans that are out there listening?
Just keep listening, man. We're going to keep writing riffs as long as y'all keep listening. So hopefully I can play hardcore. Yeah, hopefully I can play hardcore till I'm 100. So as long as people listen, I'll keep playing.
We're just having fun and hanging out. Come hang out with us.
Yeah, for real.
Awesome. Cody, Wesley, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I'm going to talk to you here in a little bit off air, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So that is Cody and Wesley from the band Tombstone. These guys riff hard. So make sure you check out their 2022 demo. It's on all streaming services right now. They're working on some more music as well, so get ready for more music. Again, thank you for checking out the Kevin Powell Podcast Channel. I'm Kevin Powell. We'll see you guys next time.